Good morning, traders. Today is Friday, October 21st. My name is Charles, and this is the Pirate Traders live stream. Welcome very, very much. All right, sorry I'm running late. Let's get right to it. It is bearish, right? Yesterday's, I'll get into it in a bit, but yesterday's move was very, very bearish. We left behind an extremely poor low in need of repair. The overnight inventory then balanced below yesterday's low, so all of that is bearish for continuation to the downside. The first target to the downside is testing the overnight low at 36.41 and looking to see if we can find some buyers down there. As far as getting to a more neutral stance, if the market pushes its way back up into yesterday's range, comes back up here, repairs the weak, let me get my drawing tool up here. If the market is able to come up here to repair this weak M period high, and then it finds new buyers up here, that can be bullish for continuation higher, but pretty much up until then, I am looking for resistance in here and continuation lower. Pretty much, I'm bearish below the overnight high, is a simple way of saying it. They got to get back above that overnight high to convince me we're going anywhere but down. All right, pushing below yesterday's low, coming back up and finding resistance there is bearish. So we're looking for the sellers to hold 36.66 for continuation lower. Still looking to test that overnight low. John Jones, max pain out the gate. What do you mean? So far, it's just bouncing around inside the overnight range. No pain yet. We talked about this yesterday. When I see these super round numbers in the icebergs, I just naturally assume that's an actual person buying as opposed to a computer. Since computers use algorithms to calculate what position size to use, they're often random, kind of weird numbers. So when you start seeing exact, perfect round numbers like this, you assume this is traders taking bets. Okay, so no resistance at yesterday's low is a little bit less bearish. Motherfucker. Well, that changes that theory. Yeah, I got to turn off that aggregation. I'll have to play with that later. Man, they are really, the buyers are just desperately trying to hold this trend line. Just imagine all the buyers in here whenever this thing does finally break. Day 4 of trying to make it support. Can they do it? Obviously, I don't think they can. Thomas, yes, we... Oh. Jonathan, it's strong hands. I mean, it could be, right? I'm not a, fortune teller. I don't know. If they were to somehow magically reverse this momentum and start to head back up today, sure. We would know that they were buying that. But my guess is that short-term traders thinking that they're buying like swing traders, but that the swing traders did the selling up in here. And they're just waiting for that final break. But I don't have a crystal ball, so we'll just have to wait and see. All right, so we got good taper on the high. We built up a big node of volume just right at yesterday's low. So that, once again, now should act as resistance for continuation lower. If we can hold this area as resistance, we're looking to test that overnight low. If I keep saying it, eventually it's going to happen, I swear. Okay, so we're testing that resistance at yesterday's low. Nope. John, I heard a rumor this channel was going on 24 hours a day. Sure. Listen, if there's anyone out there listening who wants to do an overnight stream, I'd consider letting you use this channel as a way to do it. But I'm not doing 24 hours a day. There's not enough money in the world to convince me to do that. All right, so the buyers have worked the ticks back above the zero line. We're heading up to test this resistance above. Can they keep the ticks above the zero line? Can they break through the resistance? They just pushed through the first node, but that was just short covering. So we got another node here they got to get through. And of course, once they repair this weak reference, they turn off that magnet that's currently pulling on price. What happens when that magnet disappears? Does the momentum disappear with it? Okay, there's the weak reference repaired. All right, they're above the overnight high. Again, it's all short covering, so they still need to prove new buyers up here. More short covering. I bet you this is something like the other day, last week when we had that crazy reversal day. This day here, this feels a bit like that. Like a bunch of people got short last night. They bought way out of the money, probably expiring today puts, and now they're going to start getting squeezed out of them because the market didn't go where they wanted it to right at the open. And they're weak as fuck. Fuck, that is what this is. All right, so is this bullish? No, not by any traditional measurement. But if this short covering is going to be like the other day, they can just keep covering and covering and covering, and it never pulls back down. So, trade this with absolute caution. We got a lot of thin volume that needs backfilling in here. All right, so now we can test the overnight high as potential support. We want to see the buyers step in here. And we want to see the ticks stay above the 0. Okay, so can this support hold? Normally I would call this high weak, but I'm just going to consider that a fluke that it only had one contract. I won't overthink that. So at this point, it is all up to the buyers to hold it up here. If they can't, which they apparently can't. All right, I stand corrected. They can. All right, well, that's support at the overnight high, which is bullish. I still feel like it's more short covering than new money buying. But as long as they hold 36.89, they can get continuation higher. Greg, when I have clues from Bookmap, I mention them. Otherwise, I'm just focusing on the ticks right now. I use each tool when it's appropriate. Right now, I'm focusing on the ticks. Okay, next resistance right up here at 36.07. I would consider the A period high weak because it was all bids up there. I'm sorry, asks. John George. There's 208 people here. Hey, we made it to 112. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Ah, fuck. I turned off the microphone when I thought I turned it on. Oh, no. Well, now you'll never know what I was saying. No, basically, I'm just saying I'm bullish now, but I'm only bullish above the overnight high. And I just think I'm going to stay bullish as long as we continue to hold support and break through resistance. I will stay bullish with the market. But I do feel like this is more short covering. So I wouldn't really be bullish, like bigger picture bullish, until we got above yesterday's high. But as long as we are still, finding support and pushing through resistance, I will be bullish to see how far they can get it with this momentum. As a matter of fact, I would say this node right here that we're in right now on the cumulative, right around 3709, this will be a much better sign of how bullish they really are. If they're able to get through this and come back down and turn into support, it's real buyers. If not, if this smacks us back down, it's probably just these were all just shorts that got in yesterday looking for continuation, and they just had to cover this morning. So this will likely be a pretty important level right now. RK, you need a big red light on there. I have. It's a little light on my microphone that shows when the phantom power is on. But, bro, I'm focused. I'm staring at the chart. There's a lot happening very, very quickly right now. So once again, we just slice right through this resistance, and now we're turning it into support. That is bullish. They've got more momentum. Terribly weak structure, but they've got momentum. Design up. They are shocking us. Yep, that's what they're doing. Chris. Like those what what are they called? OnlyFans girls that put the thing in the thing and then you can control it with a button. You want that for me? You evil, evil man. What is OnlyFans? We'll save that for the brigade. I've got some exciting news for you. A new discovery. You're Zandy. Welcome, you're Zandy. Thank you for the sub. All right, testing some resistance here. Same as before, right through it. Yeah, guys, that's momentum. That's short covering. And until we run out of these shorts that need to exit, we're going to keep getting these spikes like this. It will shock you how far they can push it. But they will run out. That moment will come. And there it is. Thomas Shelby. Thomas Shelby, welcome to I love your show. 60% of all options trading on the SPX expire today. That's what I'm saying. These dumb fucking short-term traders tried to pile into puts yesterday that expired today, and now they're screwed. And the more it goes up, the more of them that have to cover, and the more of them that have to cover, the more of them that it goes up. And then the more it goes up, the more it convinces other traders who don't understand what's happening that they should buy. So they start FOMO buying. And then what happens? We get a crazy day where the market pushes up and up and up and blows our minds all day long. It just keeps freaking going. And then the next day, boom, we come right back to where we opened the previous day. Or I guess opened 2 days or closed 2 days before. Literally come right back down because none of this matters. This is all just traders getting squeezed. Oh, these markets are so much fun, aren't they? So likely today we have some crazy move and then we come right back down tomorrow. Like, ugh. Okay, so now the question is, does this previous support around 37.20 become resistance? Do they smack these ticks down below the zero line? Or can the buyers hold it here? Well, moment of truth. If the sellers are going to take charge, that was their chance. The ticks popping back above the zero line means there are still buyers up here. Thomas, what do you think of adding a simple moving average to the tick chart? I don't think it would work. Ticks aren't calculated like other things are. They're their own thing. So I think a moving average would be a just noise. You could try it. Maybe with like very short term, like 1 minute candles or something. Christopher, seems like they are on fumes. Yes, sir. This is the tug of war. The sellers are starting to pile on. And so the question is, are there still longs that need, are there still shorts from earlier that need to cover? Or new FOMO buyers that want to buy up here? Or are the sellers going to win? You can pretty much just look at, this is resistance. This is support. Whichever way it breaks, we're likely to get continuation. Same thing with the ticks. If they can hold the zero line and start going higher, or if they break and start going lower. But right now is that tug of war between the two, trying to decide. All right, well, the support is breaking, so I'm back to neutral, looking for the market to pull back here. As I've said, I think the buyers were just shorts that were covering. So the lack of support up here is a sign that we have now run out of those buyers. And the market needs a pullback to look for more. We got some potential support around 3,700. If that doesn't hold, the next major support is around the halfback at 36.92. And we'll look for support there. We also still have this low volume node down here at 36.79. That's been there since early this morning, begging for the market to come back fill it. Getting back down into the overnight range could bring in new sellers and start momentum down. So if they want to go sideways or higher today, they need to find support by 30.90 and not start to head back down into that overnight range. James says, I see something that words can't convey. Well, please do your best. We need the words to understand what it is. All right, well, the C period created a weak low, stopping exactly at the B period low. So that increases the odds. The market needs to pull down there and get at least a few more ticks of excess to the downside. We will be looking for support in this area right around 36.91 to 36, basically 36.90, this general area right here. As I said, if they start to pull back down into the overnight range, things get very, very bearish. So if they don't find support here and they start to go lower, we are likely to break the A period low and start one time framing lower today. But if they want to go sideways or they want to go higher, they can find support here and they can make that happen. So I see this overnight high area as very important support. And if it breaks, further downside continuation. If it holds, sideways for the moment with a potential for continuation higher. Yep, C period low is weak. All right, guys, we will see you Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate those 133 likes. And yeah, we'll see you Monday. Anchors away.